Pretty nice day to do our water sample. I love being a citizen scientist for the Adirondacks.
It's just a great hobby and a great way for us to give back to the community.
I get personal satisfaction that we're doing something that's important in terms of being able to monitor the water quality on the lake.
In both Vermont and New York, volunteers are collecting water quality data that helps guide management of lakes and ponds in the region. These lay monitoring programs supplement the work of state agencies that don't have the capacity to monitor all water bodies. In New York, the Paul Smith College manages the Adirondack Lake Assessment Program, or ALAP.
ALAP is our largest lake monitoring program, and it's really an incredible program, and without it, I think our understanding of what's going on here in the Adirondacks would be much more limited. The Adirondacks is a 6 million acre park. There's over 3,000 lakes and ponds within its boundaries. So it's important that we have people out monitoring these water resources across the park. ALAP lakes tend to be those that are most likely to be impacted by land use and development because they're places where people have camps and there's communities surrounding them. So those are the ones that we really want to be monitoring, and that is where our volunteers are.
I was at one of our Shore Owners Association's meetings, and they were looking for volunteers, and this seemed like more fun than being president, so I stepped forward. I get personal satisfaction out of doing it, knowing that it's the lake that I live on, the lake that I care most about. I fell in love with Saranac Lake at a young age. I told people that I knew at the age of 12 that I wanted to live in Saranac Lake. It's so easy to volunteer and to try to be helping out.
We started our Lake Colby Association 25 years ago. Then we decided we definitely wanted to join the ALAP to help check our lake and make sure it's staying healthy. Fill it right up to just below the collar. Lake Colby, number 47, goes right in the cooler. And then we drop it off at Paul Smith College. And from there it goes into the lab and gets processed, and we get our results.
One of the things that's really important is data collection. The longer term you can collect data, more information you're going to have to make sound decisions regarding the management of these areas.
The other thing about being in the ALAP program is that you get out on your lake and enjoy being out here and knowing that you're helping the lake.
In Vermont, the Department of Environmental Conservation manages the lay monitoring program throughout Vermont.
Each state's required to actually assess their lakes. That requires monitoring, but it's limited capacity depending on the state and how many staff they have actually doing this kind of monitoring work and assessment work. We actually use that data to report back to the EPA under the Clean Water Act. So the volunteer monitoring, as with a lot of other states, is really essential.
I think it's a civic responsibility to help promote the natural environment to the successive generations coming along. My duties include working for the Lake Maury Commission, which gets involved in the lay monitoring program.
We're up to about 100 or so volunteers now, so that's about 80 to 90 inland lakes, and then around 10 or so Lake Champlain stations. We do trainings each year for new volunteers, new lakes, beginning of the season in June. People reach out and they want to kind of be involved in the monitoring. They can always start simple with the Secudus monitoring and then collecting water samples if needed on top of that. Through this we're making those connections to Vermonters around the state, people that are actually using the lakes, educating them, as well as trying to get people to be better stewards of the lakes. And most people are really, passionate about their lakes that they live on and use.
Community engagement is really important because the volunteers have an opportunity to really learn a lot about the lake that they're living on or they're helping to monitor. And a lot of times that means that they're going to become stronger stewards and advocates of those water bodies. They're going to go out and share that with other community members and help engage people in the protection of their lakes.
So We're very happy to be a part of this process. We've lived on the lake for 40 years, and we feel like we're giving back to the nature and our community in helping do this citizen science sampling.
We're always looking for volunteers. We encourage people to, if you have a lake or a pond that you care about, you live on, or maybe you visit or recreate on, we encourage folks to consider signing up to volunteer to monitor that pond.
People of all ages, in all parts of the watershed, can help protect and restore waterways and ecosystems. To learn how you can get involved, visit lcbp.org/dive-in.